This is 7 National News, and in our top story, the UAE Space Agency has gained membership to the International Space Exploration Coordination Group, making it the first Arab country to join the global organisation. According to Emirates news agency WAM, the nation's membership was awarded following approval from the ISECG committee. As part of this, it was essential for the agency to show evidence of skilled human resources and experience that qualifies it to be in the ranks of other advanced countries in the field of space exploration. The decision came after an ISECG meeting at the European Space Operations Centre for the European Space Agency, which brought together representatives from 14 international space agencies. Officials from the UAE Space Agency were quoted as saying that the membership proves the world's recognition of the UAE programme's importance. They also added that the agency will benefit greatly from this membership, as it will give a platform to deliver the nation's message and highlight its capabilities in the field of space exploration. This will be done through cooperation with other agencies and through members sharing experiences, best practices and the latest space technology. Eminent ENT specialists, surgeons and experts in the field of otology have attended the opening of the 3rd edition of the Dubai Otology Conference and Exhibition, which is hosting over 40 companies from 33 countries and showcasing the latest equipment, machines and products. The event was inaugurated by His Excellency Dr. Hussein Abdul Rahman Al Rand, Under Secretary for Health Centres and Clinics with the UAE Ministry of Health. During his opening remarks, Dr. Hussein stated that this conference will provide a great platform to discuss the latest advancements in the field of ontology, and as this is a highly specialised field, the sharing of expertise will help in building strong infrastructure in the UAE. Commenting on the key technologies displayed, the chairman of the conference, Dr. Ahmed Al-Amadi, highlighted that the latest advances in implantable hearing devices and imaging technology are a key focus area for doctors and surgeons looking for the best technologies to treat their patients.
I think healthcare, as you know, in most countries now, if you look at Europe and America, most of the conferences are specialized conferences. We don't have general medical or general ENT conferences anymore. We have rhinology conferences specifically for the diseases of nose. We have otology, neurotology. So they are very highly focused conferences because a surgeon cannot be good at everything. You have to specialize. So we have to bring this concept to the region. And Dubai specifically, we are seeking for the best and the top. And you know, Dubai is always the first. So we are hoping that with these specialized focus conferences, we can have more recent advances in otology come early to our countries. Yeah.
Now, the subspecialty in the field of otorhinolaryngology is growing. And one of the field is the otology and neuro-otology. Before was the general ENT was doing everything. Now only subspecialty in otology, subspecialty, for example, in rhinology, subspecialty in laryngology, subspecialty in neuro-otology. So the subspecialty is growing more. That's why the concentration on this otology meeting in Dubai. The physician will gain more knowledge about the subspecialty, which is to know how to diagnose the cases which come to them.
Meanwhile, experts and speakers from the Middle East, Europe, North America and Asia discussed the latest ideas to manage complex ear diseases, including balance disturbance and difficulties associated with single-sided hearing loss. At a workshop for UAE doctors and surgeons, experts in the field suggested that ENT specialists should look for a detailed diagnosis before confirming that a patient complaining of dizziness has an ear problem. The 3-day conference will have 5 workshops and 12 scientific sessions involving more than 50 leaders in this field, offering participants a chance to access scientific information while also offering business and collaborative opportunities.
The field of ENT in general and otology in particular is a field which is growing. There is so much happening in this field, and it's important as ear surgeons, as otologists, to stay abreast of what is happening and to constantly keep in touch with the latest in the field. Dubai is one such hub, and because it does stay abreast and does offer the latest in treatment, it attracts patients from all over. So someone like me from India comes and helps this entire process by teaching everybody here, and there's a large number of people at this meeting, teaching things for the audience and helping them improve their own work. The amount of space of the middle ear is less than 1 centimeter, and you have so many important structures, and to operate on them requires a lot of equipment and expertise. With regard to what leads to the problem, it's usually a cold, something with the nose, something with the throat in childhood, which is not treated adequately, will lead to a ear infection. That's why we are ENT surgeons. So problems with the throat and the nose will affect the ear as well. So now, with better access to healthcare early on, the incidence is less. But the fact remains that there is still a lot of ear problems out there.
Sharjah police have recorded a 14% decline in criminal cases during the third quarter of this year, compared with last year's figures for the same period. According to Sharjah police statistics, the number of criminal reports has gone down to 2,848 cases, compared with over 3,000 cases previously. Colonel Dr. Khalifa Kalandar Abdullah, the Deputy Director of Police Centres, attributed the decline to the efforts of the police. He added that they have also launched various initiatives aimed at solving financial disputes at police centres rather than courts, as well as intensifying police patrols round the clock in all areas of Sharjah to ensure safety and stability in the emirate. The Abu Dhabi Department of Municipal Affairs has announced that the new address system for buildings in Abu Dhabi City is complete and that the implementation for Al Ain and the Western region will start later this year. According to a local daily, the new address system, called Onwani, is due to be completed emirate-wide by the end of next year. So far, about 97% of the street names in the city are done, and 99% of overhead road signs have been completed on Abu Dhabi Island. About 65,000 address signs with quick response codes have been put in place on establishments and buildings. The report also added that over the course of the project, Onwani will introduce more than 180,000 building addresses and 19,000 street names, with 240 district boundaries reviewed and 49,000 new street and district signs installed. Additionally, the new Onwani mobile app, which was announced on Tuesday, will be available for public use in 2 weeks and will allow people to search for new street addresses. The app will be linked to navigation via popular mapping apps such as Google Maps and will allow the sharing of addresses via social media such as WhatsApp and Instagram. According to DMA officials, the smart addressing system will help the emirate develop, especially for the daily business operations of many entities. It is also intended to improve emergency services response times and would also minimise travel time. The Abu Dhabi police have announced that the speed limit on the Abu Dhabi-Al Ghweifat road from Barakah to Baynuna Forest will be reduced starting next month. According to local reports, the speed limit in this area will be reduced from 140 kilometres per hour to 120 from November 15th. Abu Dhabi police also announced the same on Twitter yesterday and stated that radars will be based on the new speed limit. The report added that Abu Dhabi police has fined 6,000 drivers in almost 1 month for not wearing seatbelts in the period between September 15th and October 18th. Globally, an estimated 801,000 children younger than 5 years of age perish from diarrhea each year, with lack of access to adequate sanitation together contributing to about 88% of these deaths. According to global health experts, improving hygiene can prevent over 9% of global diseases and over 6% of all deaths in children. In response to this, employees of Hilton Worldwide in the UAE came together to recycle around 60 kilograms of soap that was collected over the course of a week. Around 100 staff members from different departments took part in the internal competition, where they were divided into 5 different teams and managed to recycle around 40 kilograms of soap into 193 bars. The event is part of Hilton Worldwide's campaign titled Soap for Hope, where the housekeeping team collects the used soap bars from the rooms for recycling purposes. According to officials from Hilton, the campaign, which involved 27 of their hotels across the region, has so far managed to collect over 48,000 kilograms of soap, which was used in making around 407,000 bars over the last 2 years. The event aims to improve the lives of over 2.5 billion people around the world that lack poor sanitation.
Our commitment to the local community, and one of the big subjects is Hope for Soap. We have in MIA started this in 2012. We've got activities across the portfolio. There's some key events right now. One of them was with refugees in Milan, where we had a big cooking event, and the Italian part of our business has in the region of 11,000 meals prepared and giving out to refugees, particularly, as you know, the need in Europe right now.
I think, the one word to describe this is the fulfillment, really, because all our team members are feeling this pride and fulfillment so that they can really give back to the people, to the communities, and particularly those people who really benefit from these activities. Last year only, we have thousands of different activities around the world, and this year we are doing even further activities, which is great, really, so that you can really feel that you are giving back to the communities you are working in and living with. We have the general manager of one of our largest hotels here working alongside with a team member who's serving in the bars and the restaurants we have, and they both actually doing and working together for the same purpose, giving back to the community. I think it's a great event, really. You can work shoulder to shoulder with your team members on the same purpose.
As part of the competition, the teams had around 50 minutes to cut the used soap into cubes, which was then soaked into a sanitizing solution before pressed into bricks weighing around 150 to 500 grams. For the participants, it was a moment of pride that their achievements will eventually make a difference by helping those in need.
They have to be broken down into bits and then sanitised and then put into a mould. So it's quite a kind of a long process and requires a bit of work, but something I think that as Hilton team members we're happy to do, because we know that it makes a difference with the people who are receiving this soap and changing their lives. So it feels really good, and seeing every different part of the business here today is fantastic, from Rudy Jagersbacher, to our teams on the ground in the housekeeping, across our hotels. So it feels really good, and it's a great way for us to, support the communities that we operate in as part of our everyday lives.
This what makes me proud and to hear is that I learned how to do it. And one more thing, I already know how to recycle things, how to reuse them, and how to reduce things. So it will gonna be very useful with me, very useful with the hotel, and very useful with everybody.
And finally this evening, after a dramatic end to the first test match in Abu Dhabi, the action between Pakistan and England moves on to Dubai, as both sides are set to go head-to-head in the second test, which begins tomorrow. It was a disappointing finish for England cricket team, who missed out on a chance to go off the mark in the series after falling 25 runs short of the target before the close of play in the first test that ended as a draw. All eyes will be on Pakistan, who, despite a solid start to the series, highlighted their weaknesses in the batting department during the second innings in the capital. Captain Misbah-ul-Haq, together with other senior players, will shoulder more responsibility in the Dubai contest, as the host team will seek a stronger comeback. With England posing a strong deterrence to Pakistan's lethal spin attack, a lot rests on the spinner Yasir Shah, who is expected to feature tomorrow after being ruled out of the first test due to a back injury. Pakistan will be hoping to go one up before the contest moves on to the final test in Sharjah, which begins on the 1st of November. Speaking at a press conference, Pakistan's captain Misbah stated that his side has moved on from the nervous end to the first test and are optimistic about a strong performance here in Dubai.
I think that's a good news for us. From where we just saved the match at the end, we're really happy that still we are 0-0, so that's a plus for us now. As far as the spinners are concerned, I think that was a totally different pitch. So This pitch might just give a little bit more bounce and more spin to our bowlers. So we're hopeful that it could be a different scenario, but we have to keep this in mind that England are really playing well against the spinners, so we have to change our tactics a little bit. So we're working on that, and let's see how we go about. I think we just made a few mistakes that really cost us, and that's why we just get into that sort of situation. Otherwise, I think as a whole, if you look at last 2 years' performance of batting, it's really been doing well. So it's not much of the concern, but we have to really look into that. But we are not supposed to make those sort of mistakes at those critical times.
We all gear up. The team Pakistan is gear up, and we know that mistakes we were doing the last match, and we give them a little bit sniff. And team like England, whenever you give them something like little bits, they will be grab it, and we were under pressure. But I hope we will be learn from our mistakes, and we will be looking forward to this upcoming second test match. Whenever I play for my country, for my team Pakistan, I think like that. I will be the one to perform for my country and for my team. If I'm not performed, I not relax at that time. I'm not enjoying. So I hope that this thinking will be carry me on, and I'll be perform for my country. Whenever I play in the single game.
Walking into the Dubai test with a higher morale than the hosts, England will have their sights on a chance to avenge their 3-0 defeat against Pakistan in 2012. With the Dubai turf expected to offer more help for the quick bowlers, England's captain Alistair Cook expects his side to pose a significant challenge to the hosts' batting lineup.
I think it will turn more, yeah. Probably a bit and a bit quicker than Abu Dhabi. I think there'll be a little bit. Last time we were here, there was a bit more in it for the seamers early on. Obviously, the bit slightly unique stadium here, the shadow over the ground is still there, or close to still being there at 10 o'clock. I seem to remember that from last time, and that obviously allows a little bit more dampness in the wicket overnight, so there is a little bit more movement early on, and then that quickly dries out. But I do think it should be a bit better cricket wicket than the other one.